Hi, welcome back. I have noticed that this was a trend video several years ago, and I had so much fun doing it even back then, but we've circled back around. Us YouTube vets, we've been around the block, so these trends are recirculating, and this one was so fun to do back in the day, but it was the what would I repurchase if I lost all of my makeup trend. And I went back and I watched my old video, and it was hilarious because there's not many of those products that I still use to this day. So I thought we would do a refresh. We're having a cultural reset. Obviously, we're not doing our makeup the same as we were 10 years ago. So I have a bunch of products here, not a bunch. It's actually a quite small curated collection that I am going to just be practical and share with you reasons why I would just pick these. Now, I did base this off of practicality and accessibility. So you're actually going to see quite a few drugstore options in this video. I just kind of thought like, okay, if I lost something, like obviously I could just like run to Ulta or CVS, and I've got a couple drugstore staples that I feel like would meet the match. You know what I mean? But we're going to start out with, actually, let me talk about brushes really quick because I'm not going to focus a ton on brushes. I could not tell you the last time I purchased makeup brushes, okay? I have just collected some throughout the past 10, 12 years that I've been doing this, and honestly, they just stay in rotation. They're still holding up. So I don't purchase makeup brushes that often. However, I will say the one I've been using the longest at this point, like I used this brush literally all year last year. I don't remember picking up another one. Is one that's discontinued. It's from a Sephora charcoal infused brush collection, whatever that means. It came out several years ago. However, I wanted to bring this up because BK Beauty has one that's identical, and it's going very viral on TikTok right now. So I don't know how accessible it's going to be. I will try to link it down below if it's still available. But I wanted to bring that to your attention that if you like this brush and you see me use it often, and obviously you're not going to be able to get your hands on it because this set was discontinued long ago. BK Beauty makes one that is so similar. It's got that little angled cut on it. It's the perfect size for blush, bronzer. I use this for everything. So you're going to see me using this, but I want you to know if you want something similar, you can find it. So first of all, we know I'm not a primer girly. I don't wear primer every single day, but if I do want my makeup to look really nice, healthy, glowy, stunning, I'm going to go for this guy right here, which is InnBeauty Project's Face Glaze. This is pretty much the only thing I will use as a primer. I don't know why. It is just something that gives me that really soft, ethereal candlelit glow. It kind of gives my skin some moisture, and it's just no fuss. I like it. It has skincare benefits to it. And as you can see, immediately we get a nice glow coming from it. So I think that's probably what I would add to the cart first. If we're starting with base products, it would definitely be something like this for that nice, just healthy glow. I think some of you are going to be shocked for what I picked as my foundation, but truly I think that this is, I've always said this, that I feel like this is a high-end product in drugstore disguise, and it would just be so quick to go pick up from the drugstore, and it could work for so many different types of looks. So if you guessed Neutrogena's HydroBoost skin tint, hyaluronic acid skin tint, then you were right. As we all know, I have been using this product for years. It is so good. The shade I wear is nude number 40, and you can see it's like an identical match, and I love this color because somehow it's like a sisterhood of the traveling pants. It literally matches me year round. Like even when I get super fair, somehow it still matches me. But this is just something I can always count on to look fresh and healthy. I know it's not going to irritate my skin, and she's just, I don't know, she's just always a winner in my book. And I swear that if you lined this product up with like other high-end skin tints, this one would be picked every single time as being a contender for high-end because it is that girl. She is the moment. Beautiful. Just look at that. So gorgeous on the skin, and never clings to my dry patches, never clings to, I mean, anything. My skin is horrible right now texture-wise. I don't have a ton of redness happening, but texture-wise, Sis, I am textured up. Like, if only you could see close up right now. I was literally bragging about how this matches me year round. It's kind of, it's a little dark. It's a little dark on me right now. You can build this up. Like, if you want a little bit more coverage, you can get probably a solid medium out of this formula. I don't think it exceeds that, but you know, that's generally all I'm looking for in my base products. Okay, for concealer, this one was just kind of like meh. Like, I can do without concealer, honestly. But if we're talking in terms of having a skin tint and versatility, I would probably go for a concealer that has a little bit more coverage in case I needed it, if I had a flare up, any extra redness happening. And I think I would probably go for a Kosas Revealer. I love Kosas Revealer line. I love the Kosas Revealer foundation. That's one that I use when I'm having a really bad flare up. But this formula within itself, the concealer formula, is quite lovely. So I'm going to take a little bit of Revealer. I'm going to mix two colors. This is 1.5C. It's a little too light for me, with 2.3N. Typically with Revealer, I like to use a sponge because it is so pigmented. I just feel like it helps blend a little bit better. So literally I would buy any sponge, like Real Technique sponge. I'm just not picky about my sponges. Another option I was thinking about choosing was the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. I really like that one from the drugstore. I haven't used it in a while, and it's really not that I don't like it anymore. It's just that, you know, I've got so much stuff hopping on my desk each week that, you know, it's really hard. It's hard. These products are competing out here. Like, each day they're screaming, use me on my desk. And I'm just like, very grateful, but sometimes things can get, you know, like lost in the mix. Okay, for bronzer, I did the same thing. I was like, I've not been super loyal to any bronzer in the past year. I mean, I've had ones that, you know, I'll gravitate towards more. But honestly, I'd probably do the same thing. I would probably pick out this Milani Supercharged. I don't know what it is about this formula. I really love it. As you can see, I mean, this one's like flat. It's very sheer. It's very easy to apply. It gives a nice glow to the skin. However, I think what I would probably do is order my Jones Road gel bronzer. Also love these. I kind of feel like these are a little bit similar. They're both, you know, sheer formulas. This one's just a liquid. I'd probably order this and then just have this, like, go buy it just to like have. So I'm gonna do a little bit of both. This is the Milani Supercharged and it's in the shade 160. I love this. It's just so easy to tap. Look at that. Just tap into the skin, super sheer. I'm honestly, I'm in like my anti-bronzer era. I don't even wear bronzer most days. The last tutorial I did, I just wore blush, and that's kind of how I like to keep it. So the older I get, the more lazy I get. Today's actually my birthday. I'm 31. The quicker and easier I can apply a product, it's just like, it's a yes in my book. So that's Milani Supercharged. And I'm going to take a little bit of the Jones Road gel. This is in the shade Light. And again, very, very similar. This is just going to give me like a soft cast. This isn't even going to add much. The shade Light is very, very light. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at my skin in person and it's serving. So at this point I would be very happy with my selections because yeah, I like all of the combinations we've done so far. I think let's move on to powder really quick. So I am very particular. I don't love a ton of drugstore powders. I can't think of one off the top of my head that I would just go out and buy. So I'd probably just wait on my higher end powder, and my selection recently has been the Mob Beauty Blurring Loose Setting Powder, and they just came out with the pink version. I used it in my last video and it had not launched yet. Whoops. It was not, girl, it was not even available for like another month, and here I am talking about it. But I love the little pink hue that it has. It kind of just gives life back to my skin. And I know we're gonna ask about this brush because we always do. Look at this. No name on this brush. There's no telling how long I have had this brush for. This is probably a Target brush. Like there's no name on it. I feel like that should be illegal. Like, you know, we need to have like the brush names, at least a number, something to identify it by. But I love this. I love this brush for powder. You all see me use it. You all ask me what it is. And unfortunately, that's just me, man. Like, I'm not going out and buying new brushes when obviously I have all of these that are still in perfect working condition. So I'll try to find something similar and link it down below. Maybe I can figure out where this came from. Like, maybe if I go back to an older video, we'll get some clues, but no promises. Blush was pretty easy. I feel like I would go for Say Beauty Dew Blush or Merit. I'm just going to use Merit today. My friend Daisy Cash here on YouTube said that they discontinued Terracotta, which was like my favorite shade. Let me go to the website and look. Yeah, disappointing. It's not on there anymore. We all know I lived and died by that blush. Like, I remember discovering that blush. It was just my blush. Like, I specifically remember telling you all in a video, if I could be a blush shade, it would be Merit's Terracotta. So unfortunately, that's done with because it's not on the website, and she's been talking about how, you know, she's been so sad it's been gone. So I'm just gonna use Beverly Hills, which is like so soft, like barely there, undetectable. We all know that's how I roll. It's very rare that you're gonna catch me in a blush that is vibrant, that is showy. I just want something that is lit from within. I already have a lot of natural redness in my skin, so I'll tend to reach for, you know, things that have that like terracotta or more brown hue to it. Beverly Hills is just nude. Like, look at that. It barely shows up. In terms of highlighter, I truly don't think I would care enough to really even bother with buying a highlighter. It's not something I wear every single day. It's really only something that I put on like for a nighttime makeup look. If I want my skin to really like pop underneath lights, then I will go for it. But like I said, it's not an everyday staple. So let's move on to brows. So again, this is an accessibility thing. I have been using a drugstore brow pencil for the past year. Like, it's just been my go-to. I will say there was the Gen Z Arch Support brow gel that I used a ton last year. Still love that. It's not as accessible as it would be for me to just go and get this dang pencil from wherever, Walmart, Target, CVS. And it's the Revlon Micro Color Stay Brow Pencil. And I did an updated brow routine. It was kind of a brow routine. It's just me showing this pencil in my last video. And honestly, I think I'd just pick one up. I would just pick one up and I'd be good to go. So yeah, I've been loving this, and I think I use soft brown. Yeah, soft brown. Really great match for my eyebrows, and that's what I've been using for quite some time now, several months. I did just get in the new Benefit. Benefit has this new like micro detailer brow product. I'm gonna try it after this, but I'm really excited to. It's supposed to give the most like thin brush like strokes to your brow, but it's not a felt tip applicator. See, I struggle with felt tip applicators. They just always look inky on my brows. And I think it was Katie Jane Hughes and one other makeup artist on TikTok using this, and I got it in, and it's the actual pencil, but it is so thin and fine, and it gives like the thinnest brush strokes to the brows. So I'm going to try that next. I think it's pretty obvious what I would choose for my eyes. I would immediately order Laura Mercier Caviar Stick and Cocoa. Unfortunately, Cocoa is at my house right now, so I thought this would be a really good opportunity to talk about a drugstore option, and it's the Milani Gilded Eyes in the shade Tera. And she looks so similar to Cocoa, probably a little bit lighter. Tera's a little bit lighter, and there is a tad bit more shimmer, but pretty solid option for a drugstore version. So that's what I'm going to use today. But just know, obviously, I would choose Cocoa. And I love the shade from Gen Z. I love these eyeshadows. They are the mixed media matte, and this one is in the shade Linen, and I think it just makes my eyes look younger, if that even makes sense. Like, it gives a very smooth appearance to my eyelid. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of this on, And you can use these as primers or actual shadows. And look what I'm working with here. Old school Real Techniques. Look at how cruddy and old this brush is. Like, it's got the film on it, and they don't even make them like this anymore. Like, they don't even have the rubber. So yeah, there would be like no reason to, you know, not just go out and pick up a classic Real Techniques brush set. Okay, this is Tera in action. Now, I will caution, you kind of have to be careful with these Milani ones. I've had a couple fall out on me, and not all the shades are 100. This one, and then there's a shade called, oh, Blossom. It's pink and shimmery, so beautiful. Those work really well on me, but I did have a like purpley shade. It looked very similar to Laura Mercier's Amethyst, and it did not like blend well. It did not hold up well on my eyes. So I don't feel like each shade is created equally, but I've had pretty good success with this Tera color. So yeah, I'm just going to use this in place of Cocoa today, but you know, you can tell it's like a little bit lighter. Maybe like slightly more taupey as well. For mascara, you already know Tower 28 Make Waves, specifically the brown color called Drift. This mascara has had such a grip on me for the past year. I absolutely love it. I love the way it makes my lashes look. And yeah, it's just like strictly most of the time all I use. So for my lips, I would definitely go for an Artist Color pencil from Makeup Forever. I think these are just classic, great multi-purpose pencils. Obviously, you can use these on your eyes, lips, and cheeks. So we love a multitasking queen. I love the shade Anywhere Caffeine. Honestly, all the shades I love. I think Anywhere Caffeine is the one that I use the most. So probably the one I would go after. Last but not least, I would 10 out of 10 replenish my lip oil stash, and I would go for InnBeauty Project's Lip Glaze. Probably this color in Candy Apple. I love it. It's not too red, but it just gives life back to my lips, and it really does go with any lip liner, but I love Candy Apple. She is stunning. Always looks gorgeous on the lips, and I feel like I could wear this for day looks and also, you know, evening time. Okay, I think that's it. This is like classic look for me. You know what I mean? If I could pick this look, or if I could pick one look to wear forever, it would probably be this type of look or something similar to it. So yeah, I'm very pleased with my choices. I feel like I took a little bit more of a practical approach. Let me read off. Okay, I'm going to read off what my choices were. Let's see how long ago this video was. Okay, so I made this video, the last video. Okay, if I had to repurchase all of my makeup, this last video I did was 6 years ago. And what I said in this video is Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, Bare Minerals Original Foundation, and the Bare Minerals Well Rested. So I was still in my like Bare Minerals era, Bare Minerals girly, NARS Laguna Bronzer, NARS Deep Throat Blush. I don't even remember what that looks like. Oh my gosh, the Balm's Mary Luminizer. Do you remember Mary Luminizer? I remember her. She was pretty. I don't think the Balm's around anymore. Yeah, I don't think they're around anymore. Anastasia Perfect Brow Pencil. So we have taken the drugstore route this time. The eyes, oh my gosh, the Tartelette and Bloom palette. The way that palette had a hold on me, like I wore that on my wedding day. I'm fairly certain that was the eyeshadow palette I wore on my wedding day. I love that one. The L'Oreal Infallible Gel Liner in Espresso. I don't ever remember using that. MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. I was actually just recommending this mascara to someone the other day. My mom still uses this, I think, because she has very sensitive lashes. It's waterproof. That was a really good mascara. So I could still stand by that. L'Oreal Color Riche Lip Liner in 114. Who is she? I don't remember. MAC Lip Gloss in Lust. I loved Lust. Honestly, I may have actually wore that on my wedding day as well. That was one that I specifically remember absolutely loving. How the turntables have turned, as Michael Scott would say, because we are serving a little bit more of a glassy, natural look. But just for funsies, I love doing this style video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.